I'm Kristen Hall with Energized Nutrition, and I'm here to offer you some personal training in the kitchen, helping you to strengthen your culinary muscles. Hi there, I'm Kristen Hall. If you're short on time but hungry for a fast, family-friendly meal option, you're going to want to make this honey soy chicken zucchini noodle bowl. We're dialing up the health factor of this taste-like takeout meal by using 4 natural flavor building techniques. So let's get started. So there's 4 techniques we're using to build the flavor of this dish. We're going to roast the vegetables, saute the chicken and aromatics, build our sauce, and then we're going to layer in the flavors of our different ingredients. So let's get started with roasting our vegetables. We're going to use, as a time saver, some frozen and thawed frozen broccoli. So I have thawed this out, and I'm just going to pop it into my dish there, and I'm going to take a clean towel and just make sure we're mopping up the excess moisture from the frozen veggies. What this is going to do is just help to create a nice texture of the broccoli. Then I'm going to just drizzle in a little bit of neutral flavored oil. I'm using about, a tablespoon or so. And we're going to just try to lightly coat the broccoli with the oil. What roasting is going to do is create natural caramelized flavor of the sugars that actually exist in the broccoli. It's going to create a nice sweet and somewhat nutty taste. So I've just got a little bit of oil there, and I'm going to lightly mist my pan here with a bit of vegetable oil spray. And we're going to just create a nice single layer of veggies here. We want to make sure that we've got a single layer rather than any veggies sort of going on top of each other, and that's going to help let all the air circulate around the vegetables, and that's how we get that caramelized flavor. So this is going to be the first step in building the flavor of our bowl. We're going to roast it at about 425 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. So let's pop that in the oven. So the next step we're going to do is get our chicken sauteing. So I've cut up some chicken, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I'm going to just put in some cornstarch in here. What this is going to do is 2 things. It's going to help create a nice little crispy coating on the chicken, and then when we get the sauce in there, it's also going to help to thicken the sauce. So you can see what I'm doing is I've just taken the chicken strips, and I'm just going to try to distribute all that cornstarch throughout. Now I've got my pan preheating here because we want a nice hot pan to create that sauteing. When you saute, you get that nice browning, and so we've got nice caramelization going to happen here with our chicken, and it's going to help create nice yummy flavors. Okay, so we've got it mostly covered in there. I'm going to take a little bit of oil. You can feel my pan is nice and hot. It's been preheating. I'm just going to drizzle in a little bit of a neutral flavored oil here again, and I'm going to pop the chicken in there, and pretty sure it's going to sizzle. Yep, listen to that. So you want to hear that sizzling in your pan. That means that the pan is hot enough. Just going to get all that chicken distributed around. And so the key thing here now is that you don't want to be moving the chicken around constantly because that's going to drop the temperature of your pan. You want to keep your pan sort of medium high, and then you want to use all your senses as you're cooking this up. So you're listening for that sizzle. If it gets to be too much of an angry sizzle, we're going to turn it down. And if it's not sizzling enough, we're going to turn the heat up. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is get my aromatics all prepared because we're going to throw those in once the chicken is all browned. So I'm going to reach for this. So I've got ginger and garlic that I'm going to prepare before I put this in. So I've got some garlic cloves. You can mince these just with your knife. I like to shred them because I find that makes a nice small little piece. There's lots of different ways of working in the kitchen, and this is a way that I really like to do this. When we add in garlic and ginger, you're getting those traditional takeout flavors without adding in any extra sodium. So this is a bonus because we're dialing up flavor with using natural, fresh ingredients. And ginger and garlic both have lots of antioxidants in them as well. So we're also getting a little side dose of health with the food tasting really good. You can see here I've got some ginger root, and I'm just going to peel back the skin there. I'm going to just shred this as well. There are some tubes of ginger and garlic that you can find in the store, and those are also a great time saver. I'm going to use fresh today, but use what you have on hand. So I'm getting these all prepared. I need about 2 teaspoons or so. When you're cooking, you don't have to be exact with the measurements, and that makes cooking a little bit more fun. You can be pretty free in the kitchen too. Okay, so those are all ready. What I'm going to do is take my chicken, just sort of move it around a bit. They're not quite ready to be flipped over. So we're just going to let those keep cooking away, probably about 3, 4, 5 minutes aside. It's not an exact science, we just have to watch it, but that's around the time frame. Then we're going to flip it over. So now we're going to make the sauce. So any sauce is a nice combination typically of fat, acid, sweet, salt, and heat. So I've got a little bit of sesame oil that I'm going to put into our dish there. Then I'm going to add some acid from the lime. And I'm just going to use my my juice squeezer here. I think this is a great kitchen gadget. You certainly don't have to have it. You could just use your hands. But I find my hands aren't as strong, so this is why I'm using this little squeezer. So we've got the sesame oil, we've got some acid coming from the lime, we've got some sweet coming from the honey. So I'm going to just add that in. If you're on a low FODMAP diet, then maybe looking to use something like maple syrup would be a better option for you. We've got fat, acid, sweet, and then we've got salt. So we've got a lower sodium soy sauce here. And I'm going to add that in. And then a little bit of hot sauce. Now this depends on how hot you like it. I'm using about a tablespoon or so. We're going to mix that all in. Now what we're also going to do to help drop the sodium of this sauce a little bit is add in just some water. And now don't worry that we're not going to dilute all the flavor here because we've got flavor coming from the sauce, we've got flavor coming from the sauteed chicken and aromatics, and we also have the flavor coming from our roasted vegetables. So we're going to be okay, don't worry. So look at how brown our chicken is. We've got really nice caramelization happening. So I've got a nice clean spatula here, and I'm going to just move everything over to the side. And I'm going to add in our garlic and our ginger. And oh boy, this is going to just help release the natural oils that are in the garlic and the ginger. Oh, you should smell it in here. I would make this dish just to get that smell at the end of the day. We're going to mix that all in. And now I'm going to add in our sauce. And this is where we're going to get it nice and saucy, but thickened up a little bit. So you can hear that I've dropped the temperature of my pan. And so I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. And we're going to let that thicken away while we just get the rest of our dish prepared. Increasing our vegetable intake is one of the most important dietary changes that most Canadians could make. So one of the things I'm going to do is take my spiralizer and spiralize my zucchini. This is a really, really fun way of presenting vegetables to your family. It gives you that sort of traditional noodle-like look, but it's using the vegetables. So we're getting in the vegetables as well as getting a little bit of nutrition in there as well. And what I'm going to do is take these zucchini noodles, and I'm going to just saute them just to get rid of the extra moisture. So we're going to throw these in the pan for about 4 minutes or so, and we're almost ready to start building our bowls. So I've got zucchini noodles, And I've also got some chopped up red peppers. So we're gonna throw these on, just stir fry those a little bit, and then we're almost ready to build our bowls. So our broccoli is roasted. You can see that it's nice and hot there. And just to add in another layer of flavor, I'm gonna just take some orange zest and put that over top. You wanna just get the orange part. You don't wanna get any of that white pith, otherwise it's a little bit bitter. But this is another sodium-free way of adding in layers of flavor to this takeout meal. And we're just gonna let the broccoli just sort of like toss it around in this orange zest. We're ready to start assembling our bowl. I've got some leftover 5-grain blend that I'm using in this, so we're upping in our fiber in place of just a traditional rice. So we're gonna add a little bit of that to our bowl. Grains you can cook ahead and have them last in the fridge for cooked grains up in the fridge for up to 5 days. So we've got some grains there. And then I'm gonna add in some of our zucchini noodles. How fun do those look? This is something that I've been able to get my children to eat. When zucchini is put into a noodle form, they'll actually eat it, but when it's sliced up, they don't want to eat it. So then we've got some nice pop of red color there from our red peppers. We've got our caramelized and roasted broccoli there. That's got some of that orange zest on top of it. We're gonna add in some of that nice yummy chicken with a bit of that sauce. Now what we're also gonna do is add in some edamame beans. Edamame beans is a nice yummy plant protein. I find it's very mild in its texture. And it's a nice way of adding in some of that fiber to our diet. And now we're gonna finish off with a bit of a garnish as well as some yummy taste, is some roasted sesame seeds to put that on top. That's probably ready start to finish in about 20 minutes. I hope your family enjoys this as much as I know we're going to. Have fun in the kitchen. Bye for now.